Hello TTI students, and welcome to another week of TTI Tech. This week we're going to be working with Scratch. There's a very short mini project that we're going to do for this week, and during cohort you'll go over Scratch more in depth. Alright, so let's begin. Where you're going to go is you're going to go to scratch.mit.edu. Website looks like this. And what you're going to do when you get there is you're actually going to create an account. So I'm going to sign out temporarily so that you can see what that means. You're going to click Join Scratch. It's going to ask you to create a username and a password. You're just going to go through these steps here. And then there's an email verification process there at the end. So once you're done, you're going to sign in. And you're going to create a new project. You're going to hit create. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an event for when the green flag is clicked. And inside of that, we're going to have controls here. Now, controls are basically all of the code that we were talking about last week. So things like loops. So right here, we have our loops repeat 10 times and repeat forever. We also have if statements. So you have if then and if else statements there. You also have repeat until statements. Those are similar to what we call a while statement. So it repeats until something happens. And in fact, we can actually use this here. Here I would either put a repeat until or a forever statement. I'm actually going to put the forever statement because it's our first program here. We'll talk about repeat until a little bit later. And we're going to add 4 if statements inside of this forever loop. So as you can see, these blocks are arranged so that you can place things inside of them. So this little hexagon shape here is for sensing. So certain sensing blocks go in there. So they're like blocks. They all fit together. So we're going to add 4 of these. You want to make sure not to add the if statements inside of each other. You want to add them inside of forever, but outside of the other if statements there. You're going to drag it until you see that white line is going to show you where those blocks are going to go to. Inside each of these if statements, you're going to add a key pressed. And what do we think these keys are going to be? If you guess that the keys are going to be the controls, you are correct. So we have up arrow, right arrow, down arrow, and left arrow. Excellent. In motion, for up arrow, we have change X and we have change Y. We're going to use those to do our directions here. If we're going up, we're going to change Y in the positive direction. We're going to go by 3. If we're going down, we're going to change Y in the negative direction, negative 3. If we have the right arrow, change X by 3. And you can set these to whatever values you want. If you want to make your game a little bit harder, you have the character move a little bit more quickly. That's a little bit harder to control for the user. All right, and there we go. You could also reverse the controls if you really wanted to be mean. So those are our controls for the game. When we click on the green arrow, now when we move up, down, left, and right, our character moves. Excellent. So that's the first step. The next step is drawing our stage. Now our character here is a little bit large, so I'm going to go to costumes here for my character. And I just want to scale it down. I'm actually going to delete the second costume because we don't really need it. And we're going to scale him down a bit. And a bit more. There we go. Wonderful. So I did that by selecting the character and then clicking on the corners and making them smaller there. Go back to scripts here. And you can actually click and drag and move this character wherever you want during the script phase. Make sure the code isn't running when you're doing that. Okay? So, I'm going to set my character here in the top right. So that's where my maze begins. And if we go to stage here, I'm going to create a backdrop. So click on stage and then click on backdrops here. Use the line tool to draw your lines. We want to draw the lines in black.